Welcome to Thursday Night Knives. I'm Bob DeMarco. Coming up, we're going to take a look at some new knives, including a haul of stuff I got from Dave, OG Blade Reviews, and we're going to give away this month's Gentleman Junkie giveaway knife, which is this Edgy American Bowie made by Shane Gables. And then I want to talk about what's your latest guilty pleasure purchase, knife purchase, of course. I mean, if you have something else that you want to tell us about, we're here for you. But really, we're here talking about guilty knife pleasures. I'll break the ice. This is a guilty pleasure right here. I mean, not so guilty because I've already set up a precedent. I am unapologetically collecting the XL cold steel knives, and I'm like a couple of models away from having the complete collection, and this was definitely one of them that was outstanding. So I did buy this, even though I always kind of said I wasn't gonna. I hauled off and got it. I love it. You know, I've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now. This thing is pretty sweet. This is the Cold Steel Mayhem. So I'll find out what your guilty pleasures are, and maybe you'll give me some inspiration. Marco, how's it going, sir? Evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies, he says. Well, good evening to you, man. I hope it's all going well. Ground Fog, how you doing, Ground Fog? Pleasure having you, as always. Vinny Bag of Donuts, good to have you here, Vinny. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. My latest guilty pleasure purchase was the Riot X Poo, a fancy box cutter. Oh, okay. So it's like the X. Yes, I know what you're talking about. It's the gravity knife one, but with replaceable razor blades, right? Carino One, nice to have you here, Carino One. Greetings, Jim, Bob, and fellow junkies. Most recent guilty pleasure knife purchase was a TKL Agent 007. That's not a guilty purchase. That's a must-have. No, I'm just kidding. With the Warrior G10 grip, and believe me, it's all pleasure and very little guilt. Carino, I'm about to receive the new Agent 001s, which have the same, are made by Nick Chuprin and NCC Knives, and they have they're milled, they're machined there, and they're going to have the same quality, and they will also be available with those grips. So to fill in the collection of TKLs, you got to get an Agent 001, but they're not quite available yet. I'll have them here and show them off. OG Blade Reviews, good to have you here, Dave, and thank you for that fine box. I carried, well, you'll see what I carried today, but it was my birthday present. I really enjoy it. It's a cool knife. OG Blade Reviews says, evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Guilty pleasure purchase. How about a North Mountain Blaze Japanese tactical wakizashi on the way? Who doesn't need a wakizashi in their life? I got one. Every household needs one. Do you have one? Dave and I have one. Everyone needs a wakizashi. I love the stuff that North Mountain Knives is doing. As a matter of fact, my current front pocket carry is the North Mountain Blades BBMN because I had to have what I was carrying out on the table. Nick, how you doing, Nick? Always good to see Nick Martino. Thank you, Bob and Jim, for everything you guys do. Oh my gosh, man. Thank you for being here, and thank you for watching. He says, hashtag TKJ rules. Thank you. Appreciate that. Have a nice day. Nice to have you here. Have a nice day. Good evening, Junkalos, he says. I'm currently waiting for a knife from Medford Knives. It comes from his new line. It's a drop point Vulcan, black and tan, Praetorian C. Very nice. I like the Praetorian. It'll take a couple of months to get, and it'll take a couple of pockets to carry. No, I'm just kidding. But those Praetorians have a big footprint. But man, cool. I kind of wish I never got rid of mine, but don't I say that about every knife I get rid of? Have a Nice Day also says, in other news, I'm currently spending the second night at Virginia Long Beach. Oh, I'm sorry, at VA Long Beach because I contracted norovirus. Oh my gosh, man. Well, I mean, at the VA, not in Virginia. I saw that. That's what. So he's at the VA for norovirus. That along with some heat stroke. Jeez, man. Sometimes I get tired of waiting so much. Oh man. If I know anyone who's stout and sturdy who can beat anything like this, it's you. No, I haven't been on any cruises, he says. Yeah, norovirus. I remember a big outbreak of that. I guess it was a few years before COVID. Trent Costello, nice to have you here, Trent. I bought a small case toothpick and a cool Bowie knife someone made at an antique store in Jefferson, Texas today. Ooh, that sounds cool. I'd love to see what that Bowie knife looks like. And I love a case toothpick. I have a medium toothpick from Case. James Hart, nice to have you here, James. For me, it's the D-Guard kukri I got from a shop in Nepal. I don't know. If you find yourself at a shop in Nepal, I think excuse me for this, I think a D-Guard Bowie is well in order. And even if you find yourself looking at one online from a shop in Nepal, it's still well in order. Mike, what's up, junkies? How you doing, Mike? Good to have you here with us. And we're doing great. Larry Campbell, nice to have you here, Larry. I bought a Supercar Ron Mini Stiletto. Supercar Ron Mini Stiletto, despite my hunch that the sheath was probably shite. What I can say, I'm a sucker for hollow ground dagger in a steel I don't have. Ooh, that sounds, I don't know what this is. Supercar Ron Mini Stiletto. But yeah, I'm a sucker for a dagger too. And hollow ground, man, make mine hollow ground every time, except for these two, which are not, and I don't care. Love them anyway. James says, the lure of new steel. Yes, yes, I agree. Steel has a way of drawing men to it. That's in some epic. That's either in the Aeneid or the Iliad. I can't remember what it is, but I always like that line. Steel has a way of drawing men to it. And that's true. James Hart says, for me, as long as it holds an edge and is easy to sharpen, it is all good. Yeah, I agree. I mean, certainly for my purposes, if I were some, if I were a construction worker, someone on job site or something, and I really need edge retention for a long time, and I'm bringing a fancy knife, yeah, it would make more of a difference to me. James Hart says, heck, my new kukri is made from a leaf spring of a truck. How cool. But it is 5160 high carbon spring steel. Now, the one thing I've heard about leaf springs from trucks is that you never know what damage that truck may have suffered. But that said, I mean, probably like 99.8 million% of the time, you're fine. Let's face it, says James, I still like my buck knives made from 425M steel. Yeah, I love my buck knives too. And actually, I got a couple of new ones I'm going to show off here in a minute. Matt Lamana, good to have you here, Matt. We have a Gentleman Junkie, Matt Lamana. We have a number of Gentleman Junkies already in the chat, but I just wanted to remind you about this, Matt. This could be yours tonight. Matt says, happy Thursday night knives, Bob, Jimmy Notes, and fellow junkies. Jimmy Notes, that's going to catch on. I like that. I acquired a couple of knives that were way out of my price range, and I'm hesitant to even use them. Thus the guilt. But they are awesome, so pleasure. Ooh, I wonder what it is. I wonder what they are. Let me know. Let me know. Sometimes you luck into great deals that you cannot turn your back from. I need to find this sheath before. Okay, thank you. That's why I'm looking all around. Jacob Vargas, nice to have you here, Jacob. Good evening, Knife Junkies, he says. Good evening to you, man. Hope you're doing well. Smash the like button, people, says Mike. And I agree, Mike. Smash the like button. Pardon me. Very dry tonight. I have two beverages out here. I got a seltzer and I got a coffee. So if I belch, excuse me. Sword XXXY. Good day, Bob, Jim, and Junkalos. Well, good to have you here, Sword. Glad to have you here. And good day to you, sir. It is day where you are, no doubt. I mean, no doubt at all. Unless you're here. Craig Vincent says, evening, Bob, Jim, and all. My latest guilty pleasure, knife purchase, has been giving in to steel snobbery. I've been buying models that I've already owned in higher end steels when I never used to care. Yeah. Well, I think it's a matter of economics too, Craig. It could be the sort of thing where you're like, man, I'm paying all this money. I want the steel that I know is going to go the distance, just in case I have to go the distance. Trent says, hey, y'all, hope all is good. All is great. That's the one time I'm fussing. All is great, man, and I'm glad you're with us. Ben Odie, nice to have you here, Ben. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and everyone. Good evening to you, sir. Five Door, greetings, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. I liked your comment today on Shane's post about this knife. The Maroney, nice to have you here, Maroney. Hey, y'all. Well, hey, y'all to you and your beautiful family. Adrian Fighter 35. Nice to have you here, Adrian. And presumably your better half is here as well. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. Hope everyone is doing well. My latest guilty pleasure purchase is a Cold Steel Leatherneck SF Clip Point Fixed Blade. Man, you know what has saved me from buying a Leatherneck so many times? And this is just the excuse I've come up with in the moment so that I'm not purchasing that knife that I really want, is the writing on the handle. Tell me, Adrian, is the writing on the handle, it's pretty bad, isn't it? Like, I mean, it makes it uncomfortable and difficult to hold on to, right? You need to help me. I don't know why I need to stay away from that knife in particular, but in the times where I've been tempted by that knife, that's been the thing. Michael Elliott, nice to have you here, Michael. Good evening, all, or good evening, y'all. My latest guilty pleasure knife, Jack Wolf Knives Venom Jack, blue marble carbon fiber. Oof, yeah. The Venom Jack is a sweet one, probably my favorite. I say that every time about every Jack Wolf knife, but I really love that model. I love the fat Wharncliffe blade. And since Michael was just commenting, I have to show off the knife he designed that I own. This is the Michael Elliott design custom gunfighter customs gunfighter. Brown Sugar 0069. Hello, Bob. How you doing, Brown Sugar? Hope you're doing well. Let me turn off this chat. Okay. Ryan Ellis. Nice to have you here, Ryan. Good evening, gentlemen. Well, good evening to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Jacob Vargas says, putting us on the spot. Yes, indeed. That is my, you know, this is like a support group sometimes. And I know we all have these guilty pleasures. Terminator Joe. How you doing, Terminator? Terminator is one of the few, but I mean, he's the one who keeps popping out in my mind that really inspired the purchase of this guilty pleasure, which I am talking about tonight. So thank you, Terminator. Hope you're doing well. Mike says, Cold Steel for life. Love all of mine. Yes, sir. I do too. And you know, the funny thing is it's a knife brand I haven't outgrown. Even when I was getting fancy and buying all the fancy knives, I still keep coming back to Cold Steel. I just can't quit you, Cold Steel. Jomo EDC. Nice to have you here, Jomo. Howdy, he says. Well, hello to you, man. I love your beard. Stars and stripes forever, baby. Donald Fry. We have another Gentleman Junkie in the chat. Fixing to win the Edgy American Blades Bowie. Larry Babcock, good to have you here, Larry. Howdy, y'all. Well, howdy to you, sir. Hope you're doing great on this fine eve. Ed says, hey, yo. Well, hello, Ed, or hey, yo to you, Ed. Sean Clark, good to have you here, Sean. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. My recent guilty pleasure was a Bobby Rains Rainmaker spectacular knife. I'm so happy for you, Sean. I'm so happy for you. No, I'm just kidding. Congratulations on your purchase. I hope you use it in good health, and I have no jealousy or anything like that towards your purchase. Terminator Joe, I don't have any recent guilty pleasures, but I have some past ones, he says. Well, let's dig up the past, Terminator Joe. Let us know. Korean01 says, Bob, the new Agent 001 will most certainly be procured once available. Excellent. Excellent, sir. Are you going to get it in the new grips or old style grips? To be 100% honest, I've held the new grips. Man, they are awesome. Battle Lock, I think that's what he calls them. Nicely textured GFN with all of the grenade grip stuff on it, scoops out and stuff. So really, really great utilitarian grip. But I got to say, I am a sucker for the multicolored G10s and micartas. Ed says, I don't feel any guilt about any of my knife purchase. And that's more of a laugh. But hey, man, that's the way to be. If you can avoid guilt, it's just a way of worrying. You know, if it's not warranted, sometimes the guilt is warranted. But in your case, it's not. You're not trashing the family budget for it. You're not, you know, being irresponsible. So guilt-free. I like it. Cat Scratch. Good to have you here, Cat Scratch. Hello, everybody. Well, hello to you. My cat just came in here right before we started rolling and just sat next to me and looked up. Meow, meow. And she's sweet. Pick her up, pet her, drop her off upstairs. The Moroni says, I just picked up a Kaiser mini harpoon in 3V. TikTok for less than $30. Oh, from TikTok for less than $30. Was this from someone else? Was this from a secondhand sale? That's pretty sweet. Edgy American Blades. Hey guys. Hey Shane. Hope you're doing well. Can't wait to give away this knife. See who the lucky winner is here. Actually, Jane. Sorry, Shane. Shane said that he will be joining us to give away the knife. So we will have Shane Gables joining us for a little while, in a little while. Lone Star Dowboy, nice to have you here, Lone Star. Latest guilty pleasure is a 6-inch recurve bog knock. What's that? Oh, that sounds exotic and cool. I think I need to know what a bog knock is. I got to write that down. Jim, can you go back one just so I can see what that spelling is? Please. Bog knock. In the meantime, Lone Star, tell me what that is. Bog knock. Is that a Turkish knife? Bog knock. Zachary Schmid, nice to have you here, Zachary. Howdy, Bob and fellow junkies. Well, hello to you, Zachary. Hope you're doing well on this fine evening. Five Door says, no real guilt, but scored a CRK large and cozy in Cold War gray. I don't know of that, but I like the name. Plenty of pleasure, he says. Nicely done. Kathleen Smith, good to have you here, Kathleen. Where is that beautiful place? Hello, she says. Hello to you. Hope all is well and the world is treating you right. Dan Stan EDC. What's up, y'all? Well, what's up with you, Dan Stan? It's good to have you, man. I don't recognize your name, so it's great to have you with us. James Hart says, oh, the shop I buy from, I'm sorry. I'm a little, okay, let's get this right. Oh, the shop I buy from, they only use leaf springs and are clean and do not show damage. They get them from junkyards in India. Yeah, I never, even though I mentioned, leaf springs that have been on cars can be, that's what I heard, but it didn't quite ring true to me because it's not like you're just taking the leaf spring off the car and cutting out a knife-like object and sharpening it and using it. You're forging it, you're tempering it, you're doing all the things to make it not do the stuff that you're being warned about, being brittle and all that. The heat treat should be able to take care of that and all the rest in the forging process. So I just think that your D-guard kukri sounds cool. Agent 001, ready for that drop, T. Kellians. Yes, sir. I am ready too. I was just talking to Tim about it, and we're still, he's got a couple of I's to dot, a couple of T's to cross, and then we'll get to it. But it's going to be like, it's very imminent. I'm just not going to give a date. Split and Slices. Howdy, Byron. He says, howdy, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Thursday Night Knives. Very cool junkie knife from Edgy American Blade Works. Thanks, Shane. It is very cool. It is very cool. And as a matter of fact, you call it a junkie knife. He is making me a knife called the Junkie. As a matter of fact, you've seen it. And he wanted me to send it back so he could tweakify it. So right now he's tweaking it. And man, I can't wait I loved it initially. I can't wait to see what he does with it. But man, this thing is cool. I'm looking forward to getting it off my desk because it's dangerously close to slipping into one of my drawers. Ooh, that sounded weird. One of my knife drawers over there in the cabinet over there. Zachary Schmidt says, Bob, I've been I've been on a Western kick. I just got a deal on a Randall Knives Gambler knife. Well, it's a dagger. Okay, so Zachary, is this the one that is like maybe a 4-inch max blade, and it's got I'm trying to think, does it look a little bit like a Loveless knife, or what does that look like? I feel like I've seen this before, but congratulations, man. That is that's a bog knock. Yeah, I could see how that could be a guilty pleasure, because hopefully you're not using that, but that's okay. That's Indian. I should have known that from the spelling. But it also kind of looks like one of those things that ninja use to climb trees and stuff, doesn't it? That just looks nasty though. But you have one of those in your hands. You got a ring here. It just looks like you're a dude who likes jewelry, and then you open your hand and and you've got claws. It's so nasty. I love that. I like those kind of weapons. Yeah, like not Fred Mastro. Fred Perrin. He's into all that stuff too. Matt Maurer, nice to have you here, Matt. Hey, Bob and everyone, he says. Hello to you, Matt. Hope you're doing well. Oh, 1931 Leatherworks. His ears were ringing because we're giving away this knife in the sheath that he made. Here, look, hold that up and look at that. See some resemblance between the sheath and the comment. Beautiful, beautiful piece. Really nice leather work, 1931. I'm really impressed with this sheath. Very, very nice work. So proud to be giving that away. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution to this giveaway. Unless you didn't contribute and you're surprised to see that there. Jacob Green, nice to have you here, Jacob. My latest knife purchase was a Cold Steel Pocket Bushman. I hear those things are awesome. I'm a sucker for Cold Steel, like me and a lot of people here. Have to root for the home team. Amen, sir. So I've experienced a Pocket Bushman once. I remember my very, very good friend gave us all the groomsmen knives at his wedding, and they were all Cold Steels. And I got the double agent, and his brother got a Pocket Bushman, and I was playing with it a lot. Pens and pen blades. Nice to have you here. I also love pens. Hello, everyone, he says, and hello to you. Donald Fry, howdy, everyone. My latest guilty pleasure was a Les George ESV. Nice guilty pleasure. Absolutely did not need to buy it. Now it has me looking for a Hinderer half track. So I'll have 2 overbuilt small knives I don't need. Hey, man, you've got 2. Some of us have more. So don't be too guilty about it. Ryan says, my latest guilty pleasure is adding greatly to my William Henry collection. Damn, Ryan. You know, that is a brand of knife that I was just at the Willie Knife Shop in Delaware. They have William Henry knives, and you don't see them too often, but they are exquisite. My lands, nicely done on the collection there. Adrian Fighter 35 says, the writing is on the handle. It is no longer there. Oh, the writing in the handle is no longer there. It is on my old one, though. And yeah, it's kind of tacky. Yes, this fighting knife is just too tacky for me because I'm such an elevated gentleman. Yeah, I think I need to get a leather neck. Do they still make it in the Tonto? I'm curious. Pardon me, guys. Terminator Joe says, I have 2 leather neck Cold Steel knives, the Lynn Thompson edition and the all black. That's right. Okay, so I want. Don't count how many times I say want, but I would love to possess the Lynn Thompson edition of the Leatherneck because it's the big Bowie, the big one with the big quillions and the whole 9 yards. That is one that I definitely want, even more than the regular K-bar sized one. Mike says, my guilty pleasure is I have too many knives. Yeah, man, me too. Me too. It's almost, I think of that expression. What is it? Some careful that your possessions don't possess you, or something to that effect. And sometimes I feel that way. It's like, am I collecting that, or is it collecting me? Splitting Slices says, the guilty pleasure knife that I didn't need but wanted to try and have is as a keepsake is an Ulu from our trip to Alaska earlier this summer. Oh man, Ulus are cool. My grandfather got me one, obviously before he died, and it came with it was really sweet, and it came with a cutting board that was kind of a half circle in there, so you can rock in there. And I have them both, but they are separated, and every once in a while I'll come across one without the other, and I need to get it together. Dan Stan EDC says, my latest guilty pleasure was a Spyderco Para 3 in 15V. Is that what we're looking at right here? Right here? So happy to have one. So that 15V, that's a creation of Big Brown Bear, right? Big Brown Bear knives. That's the only time I see 15V is connected to Big Brown Bear. Ken Reed, nice to have you here, Ken Reed. Evening all. Just here getting inspiration and ideas for upcoming Tennessee trip to visit friends in Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Oh man, I'm jealous on a couple of fronts. I'd love to go visit friends. I'd love to go to Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And Tennessee, it's one of the few states I've never been to. And man, I don't want to just go there. I want to move there. I'm convinced of it. Pens and Pen Blades says, my latest guilty pleasure knife was buying both new Congress knives from Rosecraft. Was hoping for the longest time that they would make one and couldn't purchase them quick enough. Man, the one with that burl wood is stunning. It's beautiful. And it's interesting to see a single bladed Congress. I always think of Congress as having at least two and then up to six. I've seen Congress knives with tons of blades, but a single blade is interesting. And I always thought that Congress referred not to the political body, but to the fact that two blades are on either side, or more than two blades, oftentimes four blades, are on either side from one another. But when they come together in Congress, like mating, sort of. That's what I always thought that referred to. So to have a single bladed Congress just seems like a sway back, but they are beautiful. Edgy American Blade says, I'm not gonna discuss my guilty pleasure out of respect for Bob, but I like knives. Out of respect for Bob. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, man. Yeah. Jeff W. Good to have you here, Jeff. Had a local knife show 2 weekends ago, and I found an RMJ stabby guy. It was also a Grail knife. That's sweet, man. I love RMJ. Again, that's a company whose products I do not own yet, but I would love to get one of their tomahawks especially. But their blades are super cool too. Speaking of blades, we have Victor Blades. Good to have you here, sir. Hey, Bob. Hey, junkies. Lately, my guilty pleasure has been bidding on vintage case knives, some in need of TLC. That's cool. I like that. I've been enjoying cleaning, polishing them up, making them pretty again. Okay, so speaking of that kind of knife that needs a little TLC, the Moroni says, nope. From Kaiser themselves, $28 shipped. They let me use 2 coupons. I don't know why. That's sweet, man. Congrats. This is Drinkwater. Greetings. Good to have you here, Drinkwater. This is a Buck 112 Ranger from between 1974 and 1980. You can tell that from the absence of nail nick. A buddy of mine, friend of mine in the neighborhood, gave this to me on my birthday, and it was a really, really nice gift, not only because I love Buck 112s and I wanted an old Buck as well, but this was his dad's. And his dad used to carry this and another 112 in a leather pouch that Mike, my friend, kept for him. Kept that one. I think that was the more well carried one. And he gave me this, and I love it. And I've left the kind of usage gunk on it for a little while, but now I'm gonna clean it. But I'm gonna make a video cleaning it because I've never done that before, and I think it'd be fun, meditative, if you will. Maybe I'll even do it as a vertical live and just kind of zone out and do that. The problem is time. That's everyone's problem, isn't it? Time. When am I going to do that? I got to come up with it soon because I want this to be clean. And I don't know if I'm going to carry this one. I don't carry 112s usually anyway, but this one I might keep just safe at home on my desk since it's got some sentimental value. Now to me, but definitely to my friends. So I don't want to lose it or anything to happen to it. Northern Knives, how you doing, Mike? Hey, Jim, Bob, and Junkies. Sorry, I'm running late. No problem at all. No sorries. It's Thursday night. No sorries. No apologies. Terminator Joe says, I was a big fan of Zombie Go Boom. They used to push a lot of M48 knives, and I bought a few of them. Okay, I remember Zombie Go Boom. I don't know if they're still around. I guess from the past tense, I'll assume they aren't. But M48 knives, what are those? What is that? Now, tell me what an M48 is. It sounds like a American military knife, but I just can't think of what it is. Though my mind goes to, for some reason, those knives that I think are Russian that shoot like compressed air into you and kind of blow you up, which is kind of gross. I think they're originally made for sharks, but anyway, let me know what an M48 is. Ira Hayes, good to have you here, Ira. Good evening, buds. Good evening to you, man. I can't say I feel guilty, but I got a Doug Marcaida Grande Fratello. That's that giant, like if a cleaver were a Tonto, right? Maybe if I had looked hard enough, I could find someone to tell me I should feel guilty. But why would I do that? I agree. Why should you do that? Carino 1 says, Bob, as for the new TCAL Agent 001 grips, I know they're promoting the battle lock, but like you, I really like the colors. Any other updates on your new TCal design? No. I haven't heard. We haven't talked about that in a little while. It'll happen when it happens. I know he wants to make it, but he's got a lot of fish to fry, and he's small business owner of a business that's growing crazily. When he gets to it, I can't wait though. I can't wait to see that knife and actually have it and carry it. Trent Costello says the zombie blade video yesterday was a banger. Oh, cool. Thank you, man. Oh, I'm not surprised you like that. Trent loves the big knives, and it was a zombie grab and go list. And that means, you're taking it, and it's not just for survival. As a matter of fact, it's mostly for killing zombies, but you could survive with all of those knives. So thank you, man. I appreciate the kind words. Lone Star Dowboy says, my bog knock has 3 claws inside the palm for slapping or grabbing with an attached fixed blade. Wait, oh. Okay, Lone Star. I have a book of weapons that has one of those in there. Okay, it took me a second to realize what you're saying, but the bog knock has a blade attached to it that comes out this way, right? Or this way, or maybe both. I know I've seen them with both as well. Oh, man, that's just extra nasty. Karen Slavin, nice to have you here, Karen. Hello, all. Just received a beautiful box of 9 knives for the great price of $118, ranging in size from 3 to 16 inches. Thank God for Cutlery Corner Network. So what kind of stuff, Karen? I guess 3 to 16 inches. We're talking little folders to big, big blades. That's awesome. Tell me how they are, the quality of them. Terminator Joe says, looks cool, but the steel and the sheaths from M48 were trash. Trash, I tell you. Let's see. Looks cool, but the steel and the sheaths from the M48 were. I think they deserve a redesign. I got a few cyclone daggers and even a double-headed hammer. Nice. Wait. A cyclone dagger, that's the one with the twisting, the 3-edged dagger that twists. Is that what the cyclone is? And I still don't know what the M48 is, so let me know. Or is the M48 that? You know what I'm trying to say. Zachary Schmidt says, gearing up for the release of of the very good knife company Lone Star tomorrow evening. Tim Kell told Suzanne, I want one. I consider that high praise from the man that inspired me. Okay, gearing up for the release of our very good knife company Lone Star tomorrow evening. Told Suzanne, I want one. I consider that high praise from the man that inspired me. Oh. The release of our VG. So you designed a knife called the Lone Star. I'm sorry, my gosh. I'm getting it now. I think the word R threw me off. So it's very good knife company, Lone Star, that you designed, that Tim Kell inspired, or that Tim Kell. Okay, gotcha. Zachary. Okay, I'm going to write this down because I want to check this out. I love Very Good Knife Company, and I think he's an awesome guy. I think Jacob is an awesome guy, and Lone Star. Zachary, did you see the interview I did with him? He's a great dude, man. Oh, there it is. Holy mackerel. Yo. So, how are let's see. Oh, what a tease. Ah. All right. Well, I'm interested. Like, is that a gimmick, or does that really have? I mean, definitely, it's a pointy thing that you can stick into someone. But I mean, is there really value added in having those 3 things like that? Does that spiral? Is that good? Is that giving something unique, or is it just to look cool? Let me know what you guys think. Jacob Vargas says, current guilty pleasure knife is the Brock Blades Combat Options. Yes! I left my Brock Blades over there, my Brock Blade. But Jacob, you're always the one who talks about my Brock Blade, and that is cool. Combat Option. Ken Brock is a cool guy too, man. But his knives are just so good. Ken Hack, good to have you here, Ken. Good evening, all. As a hobby knife maker, my most recent guilty pleasure was stepping up from my usual AEBL steel, which is cheap, to 3V and Magna Cut. I wept a little at checkout. Oh, well, Ken, sometimes you got to do that. Like they say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. He who dares wins, and all that. Like sometimes you just got to do that. Oh, and also you got to spend money to make money and all of that. In this case, you got to spend money to make knives with the steels that people are going crazy for. Got to do it. David Nephilim Slayer, nice to have you here, David. I believe the ninja climbing claws are called Shuko or Teko Kagi. Ooh, that's cool. And they wrap around the hand, if I remember correctly. They don't have the rings. It's a little more of a secure thing. Good evening, Bob, says David. David, hope you're doing well, man. Ed says, I did obtain a mini arch nemesis from Brian Nadeau. Oh my gosh. Recently, so my knife budget is blown for the rest of the day. So to me, the arch nemesis, and I guess I would put the mini in that, even though if I had my druthers, I would have an arch nemesis. Perfect folding knife. I look at that and I'm like, my God, how does it get better than this? Double edge, beautiful, perfect handle to blade ratio. Always, each one is unique. Man, those things are amazing. I should sell, 40% of this and get one. Zachary Schmidt says, oh, and yes, to your gambler's knife question, it's a guilty pleasure and my first Randall knife. I believe it was an A.G. Russell Knives exclusive. The handle, the perfect fit if you have medium large hands. It would fit me perfectly. Oh, I know what the handle is. It's like a rounded coffin shaped handle, right? It's a little tight it's more slender at the ricasso, and then where the guard is, and then as it comes to the butt end, it flares out a little bit on both sides symmetrically, but it's rounded, and then it's got a dagger, right? Is that right? Terminator Joe says also the Gerber. Yeah, I just described like 90% of daggers designed throughout history. So Terminator Joe says also the Gerber Double Down was a guilty pleasure. It felt good at the time, still have it, but makes me feel silly. I don't know the Double Down. Lots of Gerbers make me feel silly, though there are a few like the old 1980s LMF and BMF. I'd love to have those. Will B says, evening, Bob. Will, it's great to have you here. Another gentleman junkie here who just might win the Edgy American Blades Bowie. Evening, Bob, Jim, and junkies. I haven't made any knife purchases lately. Nothing really speaking to me. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just coming out of a phase like that. And this is one of the knives that helped. Actually, no, I just got this for my birthday, but I'm just coming out of a phase like that. And it's a good kind of phase. It's good to not constantly be buying knives. Craig Vincent says, I'm powerless to resist the Midway USA deal on cold steel. I bought another 8010, your fifth one, not my fault. They don't play fair over at Midway. Plus, cold steel should just be called cold crack. Yes, I like my crack piping hot. This is a artisan. You know what this is. It's the Artisan Proponent, full size, designed by Dirk Pinkerton. And this was a gift from my brother-in-law for my birthday. He always gets me cool stuff. And I got to say, I've had this for a couple of years now, the mini Proponent, and I kind of thought that was a chunker. Holy mackerel. I love this design. But, I'm a big Dirk Pinkerton fan. And, speaking of Dirk Pinkerton, if you like Dirk Pinkerton and want one of his knives, make sure that you're subscribed, because he's going to build us a knife, or he's going to build me a custom fixed blade knife to give to you when we hit 50,000 subscribers. Now, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Do it right now. You might win a Dirk Pinkerton knife. We are considerably far from 50,000, but I like that he put that carrot in front of us. So, I mean, we're at 40,700 and something right now. So we need a lot more subscribers. And you're like, yeah, Bob, you need to make more content. Okay, I will. because I really want those subscribers and I really want to give that knife away. I mean, you know how when you give someone a really, really sweet gift and you kind of feel like, yeah, I'm a pretty great guy. I just did that. And they, you know, I just gave them that. Well, I want that feeling. K Kim 5000. Good to have you here, Kay. I bought a Shirogorov 111 Aquatic from Recon 1 a few weeks ago. Ridiculously expensive, but it has certainly been earning its keep in my pocket ever since I got it. I got to say, Kim, or Kay, who is it? Duty's Daggers got me interested again in Shirogorov with some of his recent videos. They are just so sweet. And then when I was at Blade Show, I got to hold one, and they're big, at least the ones I like, and oh, I loved it. So congratulations on your guilty pleasure purchase. That's something I hope to make a future guilty pleasure for myself. David Nephilim Slayer says, is the M48 the Cyclone knife? Yeah, it's the one that Jim just put up that has the fluting and the spiraling and the Timothy Chadwick, nice to have you here, Timothy. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Regarding RMJ Tactical, take the plunge, Bob. You will never regret it. Oh, no. Okay, will do. I will. But it's going to be on the Tomahawk front, first and foremost. Even though I like their knives, it's always been about the Tomahawks for me. And the melee weapon, the other melee weapons like the Snuggles, Warhammer, and they do that big club, that big Polynesian club. John Schaff, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Good, and if not, sorry for butchering your name. John Schaff or Schaff? Schaff. I'm going with Schaff. John says the SOG death cards serve no practical purpose, but fun as heck chucking them at trees. I forgot all about those. So these are things that look like playing cards that you can throw and make stick. That's pretty cool. Terminator Joe says the M48 is United Cutlery. I could tell from the coloring in the whole marketing. M48 is brand United Cutlery pushes. They look like zombie apocalypse fantasy knives, spears, and hammers. That's right. I mean, I'm saying thank you for reminding me of that. Yeah. I do remember that now. I've seen their spears. It's like, it's a walking stick. It's a spear. Jacob Vargas says, great show, Bob and Jim. 100%. Bam. Well, thank you, man. And thanks for the thumbs up. And thank you for the kind words. Makes me feel great. And, I'm sure it makes Jim feel great too, to know that his editing skills, his live switching skills, we'll say, don't go unnoticed, as well as all of his art direction. Zachary Schmidt says, Bob, every time I pick up my Buck 112, I consider it my tongue-in-cheek tribute to the U.S. Navy. Oh, that's right. Because of them, we have the Ranger in the first place. Now, I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but I do know that it was named after a ship called the Ranger, because there was a fight on the ship and someone stabbed someone else. This is a U.S. Navy ship. Someone stabbed someone else. And then the commandant, I guess, or the captain of the ship said no blades over 4 inches. And so and it was a Buck 110 that was used. And so they made the smaller one so that people on that ship could still carry knives. That's the basic story. I just looked it up the other day. And Wikipedia never gets anything wrong. Angry Tom's Hat Next Door is with us. Good to have you here, Angry Tom. Hello, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. My guilty pleasure this month is Monterey Bay knives out the front. It's just so damn flickable. Oh, darn flickable. Oh, that sounds cool. I don't think I've seen it, but man, Monterey Bay Knives has yet to put out an ugly knife. So I'm just going to say by default, I love it. Will be. The Cyclone by M48 is similar, a knockoff of the Marfione Jag Commando. That's right, the Jagd Commando. That's right. So Marfione is the first guy to make that. He's a master machinist, and I know that's a pretty old knife, so it doesn't come as a surprise to me. But for some reason, I was thinking it was older than him, but I guess not. Ira Hayes, the M48 is 3 times deadlier than an M16. Just kidding. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it makes sense because it's got 3 edges, you know. Thomas Wheeler, nice to have you here, Thomas. This week I bought a Demco Shark Cub, MSI with carbon fiber scales, and a copper CRJB Locust. I have 30 days before credit card statement comes in. Get out there, start hustling, start doing that Uber and delivering those meals and selling your no. Gary Bucco, nice to have you here, Gary. I think all of my Lon Humphrey knives were guilty pleasure purchases. Yeah, man, Dave's got that Lon Humphrey gunfighter Bowie. That thing is gorgeous. Do you have one of those, Gary? That is a cool one. Oh, by the way, great show as always. Thank you, Gary. Much appreciated, sir. Pens and Pen Blade says, have you handled it yet? Oh, the Thomas Wheeler. I've had my eye on that one. Looks like a nice knife. So Thomas, let Pens know. I got to say, since we are going to have Shane coming on with us shortly, and we're going to give this away in a moment, we got to get to a pocket check. But first, Jacob Vargas says that Spyderco Sage in Rex 121 is on the list for a pocket folder. So just the other day, because of this knife, I've been revisiting my Spydercos and loving them so much, and I just picked up my Sage 3, which I remember I got for Christmas 2014. And my wife got that for me. And it was one of those things. We had just had our second daughter. And she's like, what do you want for Christmas? I don't know. She was just exhausted, as I remember. And I was like, I want the Sage 3 from Spyderco. She's like, send me a link. I'm like, done. And it was done. And that was way more in terms of a knife than she would have been willing to buy for me at that time. Had she not been exhausted, I wouldn't have gotten it. So, oh, there's a little guilt in that one, I guess. Larry Babcock says, I want one of Dirk Pinkerton's fixed blades so bad. Oh, let me say this, Mr. Babcock. Let me just say this, that look into it. Look into him. Go to Pinkerton_knives on Instagram. Follow him and keep your ear to the ground. Just reach out to him. And I hate to say this, but he needs to raise his prices. So what I'm trying to say is you can get a Dirk Pinkerton custom handmade knife for a shockingly reasonable price. So check it out. Just, I mean, there's no pain in asking. And if it's too much, it's probably not too much by that much, and it's something to save up for. So if you want it that badly, and I highly recommend you should want it that badly. Sorry, I'm keep looking around. I thought I brought one out with me. Go check them out. Go right to the source. Zachary, sorry, I don't mean to be presumptuous. Zachary says, Bob, thank you for all these years of putting knife makers in the spotlight through your interviews. It's my pleasure, Zachary, but thank you for appreciating it. It's nice to hear that. It's fun. I love researching new knife makers, finding new knife makers. I love talking with people, especially people who make knives. Autumn Wind, nice to have you here, Autumn Wind. Hello, Bob. Hello, all. Hello to you, man. Glad you're here. Jason Small, good to have you here, Jason. I made it live. Awesome. I was just checking out your avatar. It's good to have you here with us. Good to have all of you here. That said, let us now get to a pocket check.
What's in his pocket? Let's find out. Here's the Knife Junkie with his pocket check of knives.
Front right pocket, I had this crazy looking knife, and I absolutely love this. This is the Evolve Kopesh. So BRS, Blade Runner Systems, who, if I remember correctly, started out making Bally songs, and then they I think the Evolve line was kind of their departure from being exclusively Bally song makers. And then so they have a bunch of knives. And this one was a gift from Dave. Thank you so much, Dave, for this birthday gift. It is so much appreciated. And really, man, a 4.25 inch or 4 1/8, I guess, inch blade. This is M390. It's got this really cool blade, and I know it's supposed to be emulating the Kopesh, the the ancient Egyptian sword that I think was made in bronze, cast in bronze back in those days. I know it's emulating that and such, but to me, doesn't this look like the blade of this anyway? Looks like the Benchmade Contigo's like exotic cousin, right? Here, Benchmade Contigo. I'm here to introduce my cousin from Egypt, we'll say. And so there's a family resemblance, I got to say. Not that there's a family between BRS and Benchmade, but what I'm trying to say is I just think this looks a bit like that, and I like it a lot. This is the first day I've had this knife, or I got it yesterday. I shot an unboxing with my daughter, and I just did not have time to post it today. So I will post that tomorrow, and you'll see the stuff that Dave sent me. But I really love this knife, and the action is just insane. Also, these are really cool thumb studs, and I'm generally not much of a non-traditional thumb stud guy. Like triangular thumb studs, I don't know, they scare me a little bit, and weird thumb studs. But this one, man, is so grippy with those backwards arrows. So really cool. M390, as I mentioned. This is G10, which I now know. I think during my unboxing, I said I think we're looking at micarta. You've got a steel liners and a liner lock, titanium bolsters. This thing is just monstrously cool. I love this knife. I love the back spacers. So Dave, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This thing is so cool. And even if it weren't cool, still thank you from the bottom of my heart. But it happens to be super cool, so I'm super excited. All right, today next to that knife, and I've been doing that with this knife in particular, and a little bit with this knife, but that is the JW collab by Jack Wolf Knives, Collusion. So this is Ben Belkin's collaboration with Jacob Ginsberg, and so far as I know from what Ben has said, this is just Jake Ginsberg's design, period. He really had very little to nothing to do with the actual design. It's just together they agreed on the design, and Ben put it through production and all that and distribution. And I love it. I think it's awesome. I got to say, to be 100% honest, I like it better than the other two fixed EDC blades that he's come out with, or that Jack Wolf Knives has come out with. It's awesome. Nice and thin, super light. You've got the beautiful purple Kieranite on there, deep hollow ground S90V blade, really cool profile, nice swedge, just a pleasure to carry. And it fits in this beautiful stout leather sheath. It fits really nicely and easily in pocket, even when you're carrying another knife right next to it. It does for me. And even in jeans, where like I wouldn't do that with khaki pants or pants that have like slanted pockets, but with the flat straight across pockets of jeans, it works out great. And I didn't think it would, because I just sort of intuited that it would jab into the hip when you sit down, but my intuition was wrong. So there it is. I had those two on me. I also had this in my waistband. This is one of the first knives to start me carrying fixed blades on a regular basis. This is the Hogtooth Knives EDC Tonto. I got this from Matt Chase, my friend Matt Chase, after he was on the show. And I just really dug it and bought it from him and started carrying it in the waistband at work and everywhere, and just had it kind of covered up with my shirts or my jackets or whatever, and started realizing, yeah, you can totally carry a fixed blade knife on a daily basis. And this thing here is the perfect size and shape, and it just is great in hand. Now he's stopped doing his jimping with files. He now laser cuts his jimping, and this is a couple of years old, and his production process has gotten even more refined. I mean, hell, he's been making knives for 30 years, forges them. Oh my God. Gosh, sorry. Oh my Lord. Let me just say, he sent me pictures of my finished Bowie. It is finished, including everything. And I don't know when it's going to get here, but I cannot wait to show it off. It is so cool. It's the custom Bowie I've been talking about, that I was going to get it blade and it wasn't ready, and it's done. It's so cool. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I can't wait to show you. Cannot wait to show you. All right, my ESK today was the Sapper from TKL Knives. I love the Sapper. This thing has not, I mean, I've had this since Blade Show. It has not once been in the knife drawer in the TKL section. It's been on this table or over there on a table. I just don't really put this away because I love it so much. But this has been riding in my bag for a couple of days, offering me the emotional support I need, when times have me down. The new versions of the Sapper do not have that etched line going from the tip of the blade all the way down the blade, in line with the screws in the handle. I do believe they're going to rebrand this knife, but I think you will still be able to order it with that if you indeed are an EOD specialist and you need to dig around in the sand for landmines and stuff. That's what this was originally designed for. Funny, because to me it looks like a fighting knife, but it's also optimized for poking around in the sand looking for landmines. So 2 for 1 there. And then here's the great sheath with it, with that screw down thing here that you can slide up just in case you find yourself jumping out of an airplane or something crazy like that. All right, so this is the rather handsome and interesting curves and angles, baby. Curves and angles. So this is what I was carrying today. I had the Kopesh from BRS / Evolve Knives, courtesy of Dave. Thank you, Dave. For my emotional support knife, I had the TKL Knives Sapper. Sweet knife, great fitment. For my EDC fixed blade, I had the EDC Tonto from Hogtooth Knives, Matt Chase, knife maker. And then I had the new Collusion from JW Clap. All right, what did you guys have? Let me know, and we will get to it. Oh, we have Shane with us. Hey, Shane, how's it going? Let me put this knife here on the. What are you doing? You blowing your nose? Hey,
What's
man,
up,
how
guys?
you doing?
Doing good.
Good.
Hey,
It's good.
Y'all can't hear that fan running, can you? There's not like a humming noise, is there?
No,
Okay.
I'm not hearing
It's
it.
hot in here.
I'm hearing
I'm at
something.
the spot. It's a little warm.
All right, let me say something. Is it raining where you are?
No, you're probably hearing that fan.
Oh no, I'm hearing. It sounds like every once in a while a car driving by in the rain.
Nah, I bet it's the fan. I can go turn it off if you need me to.
All right, it's just that sound. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
that's it. Let me go shut it off. It'll take me just a second.
Cool. Sounds good. All right, let me. Well, we'll talk about the knife when he gets back. So I won't do that. But while he's away, let me show you these 2 knives. These are from Buck. These are brand new from Buck, and they're dropping on the 26th. So Tuesday the 26th, which is kind of a funny funny day to release a knife on Tuesday. But this is the range and the mini range, and I so far am quite impressed. As a matter of fact, this deep cut actually so clean. Oh look, Buckvid 825. So clean and deep that a little bit of super glue over a couple of days and it's pretty much healed up, but still hurts like hell. But that was the mini range knife here. Now I was cutting cardboard and talking to my wife while she was cooking, and I was doing that backwards pull thing, and I just went like this, huh? And I just went. So this is a stab wound, and it went in, I don't know, a little like about 1/8 of an inch or something, or a 1/4 of an inch. But man alive, did it hurt, and did it go in easily? This 154 cm on this glass-filled nylon handled Buck range mini is freaking sharp, dude, and very, very thin. You can see it's very thin. So yeah, I really like this knife. This one gives me mini Griptilian vibes, if you will. And then this is the larger one, and this one is even better. I love this one. Anodized black aluminum. You've got a great lock here, though this one has a little bit of lock stick. Very great action, very fidgety, but a little bit of lock stick. You might be able to hear it if I, yeah, you heard that first little click. In my experience, that kind of, that'll wear away, but just something to note. Very nice, thin and beautifully ground magna cut on this one. So they're doing some cool stuff. I always kind of, I don't know, I always think of Buck's fixed blades, the 110, the 112, and the slip joints before I think of their modern tactical knives. And I know they have a long track record of modern tactical knives, but I don't know. I guess they never really, not too many of them did much for me. But man, I like this. I like this model a lot, and I like the Mini a lot. The Mini has rode around in my back pocket a couple of times as a backup to the backup. But really nice knife, really great action, and cuts really well, as does this. And this one, of course, I can't get rid of ever because it's taken and tasted my blood. All right, I'm going to put this back. I am going to release a video on you saw an unboxing of these, or a first impressions video of those, but I'm going to do something a little more close up on Monday, I think, a day before they drop. Hey, Shane, can you turn your camera sideways as well?
I can.
Okay.
I am very interested in that buck.
Oh, man, it is very, very good. They're in what, Idaho? I got a package from Idaho, and I'd forgotten. Oh, look at
Maybe
that.
I can't. Maybe I can't, Bob.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right,
I
man.
tried, and it's not flipping for some reason.
That happens.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you have the flip lock. Is this your phone we're looking at?
It is.
All right. On a swipe down, when you swipe down from the top at an angle, you'll see there's a lock. I think that lock is probably engaged.
If something happens, you can take me off for a minute.
You got it. I was just going to tell Shane that I got a package from Idaho the day these arrived, and I was like, Idaho? What's in Idaho? Chris Reeve Knives is in Idaho. I know that, but I also know I haven't ordered any Chris Reeve knives lately, and I can be so spacey about this kind of stuff. I'm like, I know that Buck Knives is sending me knives. I didn't know that they were in Idaho, but I should have figured. Anyway, I love them. I think they're cool.
I can't figure it out, Bob. I'm sorry.
That's all right, Shane. I think you will like this. USA made.
Yeah, I've been wanting to want a buck for a long time. Do you have any idea on the price range of that?
No, but I will.
Okay, I'll watch the video.
I will look it up. I will find out. So, Shane, we're going to give away your knife tonight, but tell us a little bit about this knife.
I made that knife as a joke for Bob. I've always joked with Bob about not liking clip points, and that's not actually true. I'm just very picky about the clip points that I like. I don't like when the knife gets thicker out towards the end, like a big Texas Bowie.
Yep.
So that's the kind of clip point I do like. And I joked that I was going to make that one clip point for Bob, and that was going to be the end of it. And I already had like 3 orders for that same knife, and I think I got about 5 today. So, wow. So I'm not done making clip points, I don't guess.
I think you're gonna end up loving them. It's sort of like Stockholm syndrome,
Yeah, I like that one. I just, to be honest, I just felt like there were so many out there. Like, who needs another clip point? So
yeah.
But it's worked out good.
That's kind of how I feel about drop points. I'll see a drop point, and if I like it, I'm always surprised. Not that I actively dislike drop points, but I'll see a drop point that I like. I'm like, ooh, yeah. Let's see.
I know this is not a maker interview. Do you care if I show a couple things, though? I'll make it very brief.
Yeah, man.
This is This is my 10-inch Santoku
Oh,
chef's knife. And I'm currently doing a fundraiser for Bluminati Ninja, in case you guys know or not. He lost everything, and I mean everything, in a tornado. So I'm going to raffle one of these off. So every 20 bucks you donate to Bluminati Ninja's GoFundMe, which you can find on my Instagram, will enter you into a chance to win this. So I've got a batch of these coming. I think they're almost all claimed at this point. There might be one left. I'd have to check my books, but I'm definitely going to do more of these. These worked out really good. And then I've got.
wait, don't put it away. Don't put it away. Pick it up for a sec and turn it to the side like this. Let's see the spine. Oh, baby. Oh, that looks beautiful. The handle looks beautiful. It's nice.
I don't know if you noticed, Bob, but they're triple lined. So it's a white liner, a red liner, a white liner, and then a shred carbon fiber handle.
Put your hand behind it like that for focus. And then pull it back a little bit. Yeah. Oh my God. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah. I'm really proud of those. And you know, Steve Kalari definitely inspired me to make some chef knives. And I learned a lot about my grinding, learning to grind a chef knife. There's a couple laying around here with blue spots in them where I burn them up.
Oh my God. Well, you know,
another one I'm really proud of. I was commissioned by Mr. Dylan Mallory to make the Forest fixed blade.
You were commissioned by Dylan Mallory. That's pretty awesome.
He asked me if I'd make it. I'll put it that way.
No. I mean, that's called a commission. I think it's impressive that Dylan Mallory, who's he's one of the hottest designers out there.
Yeah, he's got the Forest folder coming out. Now, we didn't add the slot, because on a fixed blade, it's not necessary. And I'm not capable of doing the slot. But other than that, this is a Dylan Mallory Forest and a fixed blade version. So got a small batch of these coming. And then I've got, I don't know if you know who Javon's Knife Flicks is, John Evans.
Yeah. I got a person this year.
He designed the fret. And this one's not quite done. It still needs a little finished touch-up work. I never know how to hold them on camera. But it's a little small pocket fixie, Magna cut, nice, tall, super thin, slicey blade. And then, of course,
I'm sorry. Javon is an avid collector of fixed blade knives. He is. Yeah, but like small carryable fixed blade knives.
Right.
And he's got a sweet collection.
Yes, he does. And then, of course, huge shout out. I don't have any thugs for sale at the moment. This doesn't have handles on it yet. This is a CPM Crewwear thug. This is part of a batch that I'm making for Northern Knives in Anchorage, Alaska, probably also in the chat. So these will be available through Northern Knives, hopefully soon. So yeah, man, I'm really excited. Things are going really well.
Before you put that one down, can you pick that one back up and hold it in your hand? It looks like, I like the angle of the handle to the blade. The blade kind of looks like it takes a little dive downward a little bit. Yeah,
it's got a little bit of a sweep here.
Oof.
I think it's just a better version of the collusion, but just kidding. But yeah, this is probably my best seller so far. I think I've sold, probably 50 of these.
Wow.
And at this point, and I'll tell you right quick, and we'll get to it. The thing I've loved the most about knife making is seeing my progression and getting better. But there's no doubt in my mind, I've raised more money doing charitable things with knives than I've made. And it's been a real blessing, man. I had a local friend here who's a little person, and he's had some issues with his brain since birth. He had a stroke and was in really bad shape and needed to be able to get to Atlanta, about a 2.5-hour drive, and just wasn't able to get back and forth. And the community got together, and I gave away a thug, and I think we raised $2,500 or something. Yeah. Because he has to go all the time now, and he is getting better. It's great. I stopped by McDonald's the other day. He was at work. He had these shakes, and he couldn't hardly speak. He can speaking full sentences now, and his twitching has gotten a lot better. So it's been a real blessing to be able to make something and people think enough of it to raise money to help people in need. So that's been awesome, and I plan to continue to do that. So.
All right, I want to get to this giveaway, but before we do, tell us again about raising money for Ninja.
Yeah, Bluminati Ninja, they had a tornado hit their house and literally cleaned the foundation. They lost everything, and they started a GoFundMe, and they're not asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars, guys, but and the community has been very gracious so far. I think last I looked, they had raised over $5,000 for them. And I'm a little bit late to the game with this, as some people have already gave. But I'm going to do a drawing Sunday out of a very small handful of people who have gave. So your chances of winning are pretty high. But I'm going to do a drawing Sunday. Now, it won't be this exact knife. And the reason for that is this one is sold. But I wanted to wait and talk to the winner and find out if they had a handle preference.
Oh, okay.
So we'll still have to be finished, when they win it. It won't be like I'll ship it the next day. Right. I'll get with them over handle preferences, and we'll get them their Santoku. And
they get that, they go through your Instagram page, you were saying?
Yeah, the link, I've got a picture of this knife with some fruits and vegetables, and there's the GoFundMe link is right at the top, so you can access it there. And then just screenshot your donation, DM it to me so I can enter you into the drawing.
Okay.
I've done some of these in Magna Cut. I typically do most of them in Nitro V. These are Nitro V. And I'm going to be honest with you, Bob, I'm a huge steel snob, but I think with this good of geometry, I don't know that the average person needs the Magna Cut. I mean, this is 62.5 HRC Nitro V. If you're just cutting the stuff you're supposed to be cutting with it, it should hold an edge a very long time. If you're a professional chef cutting all day, you might, but the $100 price difference might be worth it to a professional chef, but to the average person, somebody asked me, I'd recommend the Nitro V. I'm sorry, I keep saying Nitro V. It's 14C, same thing.
14C. By the way, Jim just put Shane's Instagram right here, as you can see. Check that out. But something I was going to say, I was going to say, even when it does go dull, but that you were talking about Steve Kalari, we have 3 of his knives. That's all we use. We have a rack of knives in the kitchen. We only use Steve's knives, basically. Or that's certainly me. And my girls too. But anyway, my point is, even when those go dull, they still cut because they're so damn thin. And that's what
I took that one home and cut up potatoes and carrots and onions with it, and it don't have an edge on it yet. And it cut them. I also own a Steve Kalari chef's knife, and just feeling the difference. I'm 54, owned lots of kitchen knives, and I've never experienced anything like that. That's what made me want to make my own. And my wife's after me now because the one I own from him is a Santoku, but it is huge. So she wants something a little smaller to go with it. So I got to make her one too.
Cool. All right. Well, I love that. I'm definitely going to get one from you because using custom chef's knives, or at least using super thin ground chef's knives, which I've not found anywhere except the custom market, it really changes the game. It's so fun. And fun. It's so great. It's such a great cutting experience. The other day, I sharpened all 3 of the Steve Kalari knives, put them in the kitchen, just, like I do every once in a while. And my wife was like, "Ooh, did you sharpen this?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "It's amazing." And the funny thing is like, it felt amazing before I even sharpened it. But anyway, that's the beauty.
And if you've ever watched Steve, I've sat with Steve watching him sharpen a whole batch of his knives. And they literally go from no edge to sharpened. And I'm guessing he may make 4 passes per side. It just doesn't require any effort to sharpen them. They're so thin, it puts a micro bevel on it so quick. And I would be, if you buy one of my knives and tell me it doesn't cut any better than your store-bought average cheap kitchen knife, I'll give you your money back.
That's awesome. Or buy it back and then send it to me. All right, let's give this away. Let's give away this beautiful knife. Tell us about
this. That's also my only saber grind I have ever done.
Only saber grind. So everything else is a full flat for you?
Everything I've done is full flat, and I did that one saber. It is thin, but it's Nitro V, so it's super tough, tougher than 1095, any of the stuff you're used to. But since it was already so thin, I didn't do the full flat. I just did a saber on it. So, and I'm sure it probably doesn't line up perfect. It was my first and only saber gun.
Well, no, it does actually. That's what I was gonna mention. It lines up really well, and I'm feeling it this way. You can tell. Yeah. But let's just see. I don't have a big piece of paper here, but I mean, all right, very, very sharp. I like the way that
was sharpened by Cleaning Work Knife Sharpening usually does all my sharpening, but because that went to Terry for a sheath and didn't have an edge on it yet, Terry at 1931 Leatherworks also did the edge on it.
Oh, nice. Terry, well done. And man, this sheath is beautiful.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying doing business with Terry because I'm growing, he's growing. You know, we're both learning. I think it's cool to work your way up with somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with that. But
he
offers other services too. He does some anodization work, some mod work. He does some really cool rock scale patterns on scales. But yeah,
all sorts of cool ancillary knife services, basically.
Right.
All right, Jim. Let's give this away, but let me shout out our Gentleman Junkies. I really appreciate you guys. I know Jim does too. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. It means more than you know. We have 5-door, Adrian Fighter 35, Ben Belkin, Byron Kennedy, Colin Maison-Pierre, Craig Vincent, Dirk Pinkerton, Donald Fry, Doug Bowl, Edwin Callow, Gavin Kalitis, Jay McConnell, Jacob Vargas, Jamin Parker, Jason, Jeff Hamilton, Jeff Wright, Jesse Tellis, Jock Knife, JVF, Larry Elizondo, Martin Gamboa, our last winner, Matt Lamana, Michael Elliott, Never Enough Knives 007, Ronald Reimer, Ryan Lynch, Scott Nelson, Sean Welford, Sean Harmon, Stephen Michael Robert, Thomas Butler, V2, thanks Dad, Northern Knives, and Will B. A lot of them in the chat tonight. Really, really excited to give this away and find out who this is going to go to. Also, I failed to mention there's a nice lanyard hole in the perfect spot. Not going to menace your hand if you're a lanyard guy. Also, this one would be great with a Kydex sheath in the waistband too. Perfect EDC knife.
This is actually 5 doors Santoku, so it would be odd if you
really?
would.
Man, that guy's got incredible taste. 5-door, you've got awesome taste. All right, you need to do the countdown.
3, 2, 1, spin it.
All right, here we go. And always a tease. We'll find out where it's going to stop. Boom, Jeff Hamilton. Jeff Hamilton, you are now the proud owner of the Edgy American Blade Works Bowie. I'm so excited to send this to you. Man, it is a beauty, and I think you are going to really love it. Also, it's just special to have because you're on the ground floor. This is like Mean Streets for Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro and Harvey Keitel. You know what I mean? It's like the early partnering of something great, and you can tell that from this. So really, really generous. Thank you very much for giving us this to give away.
Well, Bob, you've been a big inspiration to me ever since I got into the knife community, and so when I started making knives, I wanted to get to a point where I could make something I wasn't embarrassed by to give away on your channel. So, and Jeff, if you have any questions, anything you want to know about it, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. And yeah.
What did you say the steel was?
That one's Nitro V.
Nitro V.
Okay. I use so much Nitro V, I keep calling this Nitro V, but I couldn't get Nitro V this thin, so I ordered 14C. So that's why there was some confusion.
Hey, any questions out there for Shane and about his knife making? Be interested. We're here. We're all here. We're sitting around the coffee table. So let me know if you have any questions. And we will get to that, but we will
I'm
get to
not-
your questions. And as we wait, what were you gonna say?
I said, I'm not smart enough with my phone to know how to see comments. So I can't see any of them.
Oh yeah. We'll see him when Jim puts them up. 1931 Leatherworks sounds good, he says. he's part of the partnership. So thank you, man. Appreciate that. Ryan Ellis says, Shane, you're improving so much. I'm beyond proud of you.
I appreciate it, Ryan.
Byron says, thanks, Shane and Terry, for the knives and sheaths work. Indeed. Tree Stab and Troy, nice to have you here, sir. How did Shane get to be so cool?
Well, most of y'all know my story of why I'm making knives. I had some pretty bad health issues that led to some really bad mental health issues, and I was laying around waiting to die, and I just didn't have anything to motivate me. And Jason Brown motivated me to start this, and I didn't listen to him, for a year. And his knife was supposed to be the first knife I made, and unfortunately, Jason passed away. And then I felt really, really bad that I never made his knife, but I did make it, and we auctioned that off, and that went to help support his daughter Nora's future. So that's how I got here. Is Jason Brown.
Man. Jacob Vargas, a Gentleman Junkie, who unfortunately did not win tonight, but hey, Jacob, the beauty is we keep doing this, so you will eventually. He says beautiful custom blade. And actually knowing Jacob's taste a little bit, I could see him wanting your knife. Craig Vincent says the sheath Terry made for my thug is exquisite.
Yeah. Hopefully we're gonna keep Terry busy here really soon.
Nice. Hey, said Stevie, good to have you here. I have the pleasure of owning a very early Edgy American Blades knife, and a more recent one. Seeing his progress is awesome. Man, no doubt. I am Jim. Well, forget it. Said Stevie, but put another comment in. I want to look at your avatar. Level on up. Good to have you here. Level on up. Hey, good evening, Byron. All right, that's cool. Some inner chat. Hashtag be up. Indeed, I am indeed up.
Yeah, that was Jason. Jason was a.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, Jason was a graffiti artist, and then later in life he got to where he photographed graffiti, and unfortunately that's how he passed away. He was going to a train yard to photograph some graffiti, but that was his tag was be up. So that's why you see hashtag be up a lot in the chats.
All right, that's cool. I've frequently seen that, and I don't know. I just assumed it was like a positive, like
He was a very positive guy. He was the best of us.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know him, but I'm still sorry to hear about that.
Well, he knew you, and he enjoyed your live streams because he was. That's how I found. As a matter of fact, Jason Brown's how I found most of everybody. Jason would message me, "Hey, you know about this channel? They're going live. Go check them out." He promoted everybody in the community. Any aspirations they had, he was just a positive motivation towards people doing things to make them happy.
Man.
Yeah.
1931 Leatherworks says, "All right, guy, it was a pleasure. I have to hit the sack so I can get my kids up for school in the morning, man." Man, I'm sorry to hear that. Is angry hang on. Or my son. Gotcha. Angry Tom, no. Angry Tom. I said CB, be up and be up in someone's life. Just looking at your avatar. Love that. Yeah, I like that. Be up in someone's life. What was Angry Tom's comment? Angry Tom? I'm not sure because no, I did unless you're Tom Butler, I did a full relook today at who was active in terms of Gentleman Junkies. So let me know what Angry Tom, let me know what you're talking about so I can rectify anything. Hashtag knife. Well, this isn't a hashtag knife situation. On the third Thursday of every month, we do the Gentleman Junkie knife giveaway. So it's for patrons, our top tier of support on Patreon. That's just the Thursday night giveaway, or the third Thursday of the month giveaway. But every other Thursday, we just do all access giveaways. So sorry, I did not explain that adequately, Tom. But next week we have cool stuff to give away. As a matter of fact, just got some cool new stuff from Dave. Jacob Vargas says, looking forward to purchasing an Edgy American blade. I've been in the market for a custom chef knife. Oh man, Jacob, it's gonna make all the difference.
Yeah, I'd be honored to make it for you, Jacob.
Cool. Well, let me show you a couple of knives since we're here. What do you think of Strider knives? Do you like Striders?
I really do. I don't have one here to show. Actually, yes, I do. Hang on. I'll show you how much I like Strider. Let me grab it.
Sure.
Give me just a second.
Okay. Well, of course, you all know I'm about to show him the BBMN because I'm curious what he thinks of this knife. But I also have some cool new ones from Apoch to show. Louise, nice to have you here. Anyone know some websites for knife trading? Well, I know that I don't know. Shane, you might be better equipped to answer this. And I know people in the chat are well equipped to answer this. But something you might consider, it's not like Reddit, but check out northernknives.com. They have a whole knife exchange like wing of the website or area of the website, and you can exchange knives you have for other knives that other people have traded in. So I guess that would be my suggestion. Go check out northernknives.com and
Absolutely, that's a great guy up there, man.
the knife exchange. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, and anybody that supports, new makers, I think the world of that. But this was my first model. This is my Heathen.
Cool.
This is a large, full tactical fixed blade, and you may not see it, but it is certainly Strider inspired. From the gun stock shaped handle. So yeah, Strider was one of my grails early on. And being in the loop a little more than most people, I know that all the drama and lies that were spread about Mick Strider, ignore all that.
Were they lies?
I know people who were right there in the shop with him. And that was just a campaign to smear his name. But I love his design language.
Well, wait. I'm going to ask you about that because I'm not sure I know about that. But do you know this one, the BBMN from North Mountain Blade? It's a Dwayne Dwyer. Right. I've been loving this, man. I really, really, really love this knife. And I also love that it's not on bearings. I'm so tired of bearings, man. I do like a nice smooth shut like everybody else, but Blade Binge, says Derek Poppenhagen. Thank you, Derek, and it's nice to have you here, sir. So I just wanted to show you that, see if you had seen that. But I got a couple of knives in, and I want to show these off, and I want to see. They might not be up your alley, but they're pretty cool. They're from Apoch Survival, and they have a lot of cool knives, and they do a lot of collaborations. This is the Breeden, what is this one called? Zephyr necktie knife. It's got this really cool little blade, Japanese style. It's not a Kiridashi, but it looks like a little Quaken almost. 2 layers of G10. You got the maroon and the black, and then of course it's cut to look like a Sukamaki wrap. They just sent this to me, and I'm going to bang about, not with this one, but I've been carrying where's the other? Okay, check this out. This is the folder out of this series called the Breeden Whisper 2. Now, is it Kim Breeden? Knife maker. I gotta refresh myself on who Breeden is, but I'm pretty sure it was Kim is his first name. Really awesome action. I gotta say, there's one thing about this knife that I don't like. And by the way, the action is fall shutty, and I love it. So I'm not saying I'm completely sick of bearings. I do like bearing action, but I'm a much bigger fan of washers. But anyway, this one is all cool, all good, totally beautiful, contoured, looks traditionally Japanese and all that. It's got a great liner lock and everything. This is what sticks in my craw. I know it's made in China, but you don't have to put it right there. Right there. I mean, it could be here or somewhere else, but I just don't like that. Made in China, you know. Even if it said made in USA there, I'd be a little bit like, hey, why there? That's where there should be jimping. But anyway, I really do like this knife. I think it's pretty cool. It's nice and light too. It's got a cool clip with that blossom. What is that? Like a cherry blossom or something? Japanese. And then lastly in this series is this. It's a fixed blade knife. It's got this attachment. You can take that off, which I will, but I'm leaving it on until I finish kind of checking it out, how it was sent. But this is the Torrent. Also another Japanese inspired fixed blade knife. So these, I like these. I'm especially, yeah, and again, made in China, right where there should be jimping. It's just a weird choice, weird place to put it, but who knows? I don't know if Apoch had anything to do with that, or if it was just their manufacturers who were like, chunk, made in China. And from the top, I like the way it flares out right before the blade and at the pommel there. Interesting, cool knives, and there's the family of breeding knives. Yeah. Do you know Apoch Survival at all?
I don't. I've never heard of them. Those are cool looking knives. It's something I was going to tell you. There is an advantage to the made in China bit on the spine.
Why?
You can take it to a local jeweler and have the jimping laser cut right over the made in China.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't realize there were lasers strong enough to cut jimping, but there are.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was just mentioning before, my buddy Matt is now doing his jimping with lasers. So you can do that at a jewelry store?
It doesn't make it not made in China, but you don't have to look at it.
Eric says those are so sweet. Pen and Pen Blade says, kind of like a folding Tonto knife. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's like a much more traditional looking one than, say, one of my beloved Cold Steel, which I don't have out, but, you know, the faceted Tonto. Super. Nice to have you here, Super. That is a super cool card, too. I popped in late and missed that buck earlier. Which model was that? Here, let me show you. It's the Range and the Mini Range. And cool thing about these are that they come in different materials. The Mini Range kind of feels like a mini Griptilian, about the same size. And it's got glass reinforced nylon handle, deep carry pocket clip, not inset, but a deep carry pocket clip that is ambidextrous, and a ambidextrous bar lock, great action, bearings, and a 154 cm blade. Personally, one of my favorite steels. And then, and it has also tasted my blood, as you can see right there. Kind of a deep wound, but clean cut, so easy to super glue shut. And then this one is the Buck Range. I know in my unboxing I called them Rangers, and one of you great people sent me a message saying, you kind of screwed up the name. So I went in and just changed it in the description and title and stuff, but I'll get it right on my main video of these. Really nice thin Magna Cut blade, anodized aluminum handle, ambidextrous bar lock. Came with a little bit of lock stick. I can already feel it going away unless I really horse it open, and then there's a little, yeah, there's some blade stick there, but I can already feel it's lessening. So yeah, that's this is the Buck. These are my first two Buck knives with clips, which is kind of interesting because I'm pretty much a 110, 112 kind of guy. You know,
Bob, in the gun world, we wouldn't call that lock stick. We would call that a clean break, no creep.
Okay.
I actually like a little bit of audible click when I disengage a lock. You know, a lot of people complain about the click on a button lock. This was a big topic a couple of days ago, but we're not going to get into that. But I too do prefer to feel a little click on a button lock, just because at least then I know when it's disengaged. It's not I'm mashing it. Oh, there it let go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't mind a little bit of lock on those kind of locks. On a frame lock, I don't care for it. But
Matisfaction, good to have you here. He said, "Is that my dude Shane up there?"
yeah.
Good to have you
I
here.
think actually this Dylan Mallory Forest, this very first one, the very first one made, is already claimed. That one's going to Matisfaction. So
Oh, nice. Nicely
I'm
done.
waiting on Dylan to decide on handle materials.
Oh, okay. Oh man, that's really cool that you're working with him. I mean, I've been trying to get him on the show for
Bob,
years.
I think Matisfaction had something to do with that. I think he orchestrated that hookup, and so I'll forever be grateful to him for that. Because, like I said, if we just do this batch of 5 and that's it, and it's over, and if I didn't make a penny off of it, Dylan Mallory has always been. Well, I mean, if you look at the Thug, it was inspired by the Mallory. I can't even remember the name of it now. It doesn't look exactly like it, but it is kind of his design language. So I've always been a fan of Dylan Mallory. So to get to make a knife for him, man, that's huge. Just huge for me.
That is huge. Maybe Matisfaction can hook me up because every time I've seen and I've met him numerous times at Blade Show, and he's such a nice dude. Dylan is, and I've asked him on the show so many times, and he's like, thanks. You know, I really appreciate the offer.
I think he's coming around. He's trying to build his online presence now. I think he just hit like 400 or 500 on his YouTube. So I think he's coming around to that concept. So I'd be willing to bet you could probably get him on at this point.
Okay. All right. Well, as of June, or did I talk to him this year? Pretty sure I saw him this year. I don't remember. It's all a wash. But yeah. I'll get back in touch with him. I think he's cool. Kim Cox says 500. Jim. Sorry. Jim Kaumanaja. All right. Jim Cox, nice to have you here, man. And he says 500. Mallory is very shy, says Matisfaction. See, that's the thing. He doesn't come off that way in person, or at least he didn't to me. Kyle Kunley, nice to have you here, sir. He's the guy who does a lot of Shane's sharpening, and he's the guy who perfected my Perfrico by making it an actual dagger and double edging it. Dylan is getting a booster seat so he can see the webcam. Oh my God.
We joke with him in front of him too. It's not just behind his back.
Well, I was gonna say I can't joke with him like that because I don't know him, but yeah, sounds like friends kind of joking. Said Stevie says for a cool 200, I'll get Dylan on here. All right, a cool 200, it's a deal. I just wanted to go back and say one quick thing about Lockstick and Strider. Striders tend to have, not this one, but real Striders tend to have Lockstick in my experience. Not all of them. I bought one from Zelric years ago and it's nice and clean. Wait, hold up. Kyle sharpens knives? But I remember hearing, I thought it was mixed Strider, but now that I'm talking about it, maybe it wasn't, but talking about how an audible click when you're undoing a blade. What am I trying to say? When you're unlocking a knife, especially a liner lock or a leaf locking blade, you want to hear that. You want the lock stick because there is a chance it could slip. And if it's stuck in there, you know that it's really working. So
since I opened that can of worms on Mixed Strider, I'll make it really quick. There was a campaign to smear him over his service and some I'm not going to get into it, but the point is, I know people who were working in that shop with him. Scully, who's a world famous Marine long distance sniper. The point is, almost all your special forces guys still buy and carry Striders, even though there's no NSN number.
Yeah.
So it's even harder for them to do. And if he indeed had committed stolen valor, those guys wouldn't be doing business with. So
Oh yeah.
I know the whole story. I'm not going to tell it live. If you want to hear it one day, I'll tell
Okay.
it. But yeah, it's BS. Somebody just trying to hurt Mick's reputation.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
No reason to do that. What was the comment that was just up? It was Strings, I think. Strings, who is also a gentleman junkie and didn't win, unfortunately. But what was that? What was that comment, Jim? Could you pop that up? My biggest guilty pleasure knife purchase was last year when I bought my Grail Rockstead Higo 2. I'm still in love with the mirror polish DLC. And by the way, Strings, thanks for joining us. I went to the Rockstead table this year. There was no one there, which was weird to me. It was just gentlemen just kind of sitting there, and no one was there at the time. I thought that would be a table that would be swamped, but I had a chance to pick them up, and I did my usual. There's no way on earth I could possibly buy this, but may I? He's like, sure. And wow, that is a smooth knife, man. It is so smooth and just beautiful and just different. You know what I mean? Kind of differently constructed, differently designed. Same idea, folding, locking knife, but just kind of different. Tree Stab and Troy says, I am also a proud owner of an Edgy American blade, the Alabama Hammer. It's the coolest thing Shane made. What does that look like?
It's a big 4V chopper.
Alabama Hammer.
But
I just got it. Yeah.
Just because I wanted to do something different, Bob, when he asked for this big, thick chopper, and I could have ruined that sale because I didn't ask. I just did it, but I put a Spanish tip on it. And it does look pretty cool. It's a pretty cool chopper.
String says it's awesome. Basically, it's awesome how the knife community can be a great antidepressant.
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, we've seen it. You've experienced it. We've also seen it in other people, kind of like telling their stories and getting it off their chest and kind of turning into someone else right here on YouTube.
Yeah. I was in a dark place when I stumbled across Love Them Knives, and that's what started. It was Lee at Love Them Knives, and you know how your algorithm works. Once you start watching Love Them Knives, you get some Nick Shabazz, some Metal Complex, and and then once I realized it was a community and you could chat with one another, there's no doubt it saved my life. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty powerful. Knife community saved my life.
Yeah. Then there's a bunch of us. We talk about it on more quaint live streams, but there's a large number of people who will tell you they owe their life to this.
Yeah, I know.
We're
Lefty was very open about it when we talked. He
Yeah.
was going down the wrong path, I guess, and this changed it for him.
Yeah.
I was going down the wrong path.
Look what he's done with it.
What's
I said, look what he's done with it. I'm sure he doesn't think I feel that way, but I mean, I'm super proud that left at what he's done. In the 3-4 years he's been in this, he's established a well-known knife brand. I wish things were different, but hey, man, I'm proud of the guy.
Yeah.
Hats off to him.
What do you mean you wish things were different? Just like
I just wish they were made here.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, and Kevin did things. A lot of people don't know this, but back during the Knives Live when we were trying to raise that money, that didn't exist without Kevin. Like Kevin took the brunt of almost all the cost. Literally spent hundreds in shipping. He was the main contributor to reaching out to makers and getting the donations, and so I'll forever be grateful to Kevin for that.
Pens and Pen Blade says Nick Shabazz was his first, and after that it was all history. Yeah. Derek says that's awesome, and now I'm not sure what he's talking about, but it's kind of all awesome. Oh, I know what he's talking about. What we're talking about. Yeah, it is nice the way it is a community. I mean, it's look, it just because we all love knives doesn't mean we're all like friends and all that, but you know, people who come together like this show and like the other show, all the other shows, and the fact that you can just kind of reach out to people, talk to people. And then within the knife making community, it's a lot like that too. It's
If
weird.
you scroll through my phone right now and look through my text messages and my phone calls, I was on the phone with said Stevie today. I talk to Kyle almost every day. You know,
Yeah.
80% of what you see in my call and text log are guys in the knife community. Some of them whom I've never met in person and may never meet them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they've become pivotal parts of my life, though.
Jacob Green says, absolutely. The knife community has given me stability through multiple breakups and family losses. Wow, that's pretty powerful. I would pick this community over any other. It's funny you say that, Jacob. I've had that feeling, and I ask anyone. Ed says the wise man once said, "Came for the knives, stayed for the people." Yeah, I mean that's like Blade Show, but I've heard it said. Oh man, where was I going with this? It was 2 comments back. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate this. There are a lot of people in the knife community who also have other interests, you know, other very strong interests and hobbies. And whenever that comes up, I ask people, "Oh, what's the gun community like, or what's the bike community like?" And I mean, maybe this is more from makers or people who are selling stuff. But they're always just like, "Oh, it's cutthroat, it's terrible, it's toxic, or whatever." And I just never hear that about this. Super says, I blame Nut and Fancy. Me too. Nut and Fancy was my gateway drug for leading down the whole gear rabbit hole years and years ago. Yeah, 2008. I watched 2008 or 9. I watched my first knife video. And I remember, you know, just watching them. Bluminati Ninja, nice to have you here. This community is an awesome blessing from a couple of years ago when I lost my mom to back in June when we lost our home. God bless you, sir. This community has kept me from going down a very dark and withdrawn path. Man, sorry to hear about your mom, of course, but also what happened in June. That's anyone's nightmare, and I'm so, you know.
I'm horrible with timelines, but I'm pretty sure that happened while we were at Blade Show.
Really?
I remember Stevie telling me at Blade Show that I could be wrong about that. I hope not. But
jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hearing it right from him, and you know, you've talked about Bluminati Ninja a bit last time you were here, or it wasn't last time, but last time you were commenting, which I guess was 2 weeks ago or last week.
Yeah.
You mentioned him. So, okay. Excuse me. All right. Okay. I knew I wanted to show this. Did you see this last week? We were talking Mike Wharton. Scotch.
I want one so bad.
Scotch 00 was my crossover into this community, said Stevie. What's that?
I want one of those really bad.
Okay. All right. So become a Gentleman Junkie. Yes, it was June 5th, said Bluminati Ninja.
Yeah.
That's a date that you'll never forget, unfortunately. Craig Vincent says, I'm listening to all of this as I'm firmly entrenched in the potato chip community. Man, that potato chip.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Is that knife made by the guy that owns Northern Knives? Is that one of his? Because I know he makes knives.
Yeah.
Is that one of his knives?
Yes.
Okay.
3 Dog Knife. You know, 3 Dog Knife is the brand. And but they're right out of the Anchorage, Alaska shop, I guess.
Yeah.
In the back, I guess. They do this. You know what's cool is they do a bunch of outdoors tantos, or a few of them. And I just think that's so cool because I don't know what tanto.
Well, that tanto in particular, Bob.
What's that?
I said that tanto in particular because the front edge has some belly to it. You know, even though it looks big and thick and tactical, that would work. You could you could clean a rabbit with that easily because of that belly and the front part.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like this? I don't know. I've never done this, but I have grand plans to bag myself a squirrel. I don't know why I want to eat a squirrel, but I've never had it before. And my wife got me this book, Steve Rinella's book called Meat Eater.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love Steve Rinella.
so cool. I mean, it talks about all sorts of game, and I was really stuck on the small game. You know, rabbits, squirrels, raccoons, stuff I can see here. You know, in my bit of suburbia, and I've always kind of been curious. You know, squirrel curious, if you will.
Yeah.
And reading what he was talking about and how to do it, I'm like, not only could I totally do this, but it sounds delicious, man.
Everybody I know in the South,
Sloppy.
I've had squirrel, and everybody I know that's had squirrel always had it the same way. It was just in brown gravy and poured over rice and potatoes. I don't know if there's a gamey taste and the brown gravy neutralizes that, but everybody I know that cooks it here, it's not slow cooked in brown gravy.
I've heard that
you have delicious.
Yeah, I read you have to slow cook it to keep it from being tough, but I want to put it on a stick and put it over a fire outside. Like, I want the full experience. I think a couple of comments there giving you some crap. I missed them, kind of saw them, but Kyle Cooley says, Shane, can you clean an opossum with that too?
He's also poking at me. My dog killed a possum in the backyard last night. She's way stronger and way faster than me, and I couldn't stop her. But at least it was a possum.
Yeah. Jim Cox says, I have an old friend that always made squirrel pot pie, and it was delicious. Really? Squirrel pot pie? Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it makes sense, too, because you slow cook the stew that you put in a pot pie anyway. Right. But I do believe that for my first time, first of all, I'm not going to do it here. It would be weird for me to do it in my backyard and sit over my fire pit, but I'm going to go camping somewhere, and I'm going to bring my, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Maybe I can't shoot it, so I'll just grab it with my hands. And now
good luck with that.
Yeah, I'll bring my slingshot, and maybe I'll bring one of these saps that Dave gave me. Check these out.
You can't squirrel hunt where you live?
What's that?
You can't squirrel hunt where you live?
I have no idea. I'm 1,000% sure that in my county I cannot, and I don't even know, but there's no way on earth it's permitted here. But I don't know. I mean, if you're gonna do it quietly, yes, tree stabbing Troy, throwing knives or a sap. I'm just gonna come up behind it and whoosh, whack it. Check this out, man. 2 saps that OG Blade Reviews sent me. I've always wanted one, never had one. Kyle says, Stevie, that's all it takes to get rid of Marty. Squirrel scampi. Squirrel scampi, I like that. Squirrel stew, squirrel and rice. You ever have one of these?
I haven't. I've been hit with one.
Have you really?
A friend of mine had one and told me to hold my hand out, so I did. And he slapped the palm of my hand with it, and it literally hurt me in my shoulder.
Oh my God.
Like the pain just radiated through my body.
I'm glad he didn't hit you.
I do not want to be smacked with one of those.
Ira Hayes says, yeah, the squirrels talk to each other. You don't want nature's ninjas conspiring against you. Yeah, that's true, man. That is true. That's funny. They do. You hear them all the time. Pens and Pen Blade says, put an interesting picture in my head, backyard squirrel grilling. Yeah, it's like my wife would also have she would not be happy, but go out there with my slingshot. Well, I mean, I have my grandpa's BB gun too. I could do that. Squirrel hunt? No. Bob getting a letter from HOA. No more running through the streets chasing squirrels with a katana. Yeah, thank God we live in like one of the few neighborhoods in the area that doesn't have an HOA. Thank God, because I can run down the street in my underwear with a sword. Northern Knife says, Edgy, if you need a riot, I can probably arrange that.
Oh, we're going to make that happen, sir. I'm definitely going to own a riot. I bought a Freeman fixed blade. Forgive me for not remembering the name of it. But Freeman knives, they make the big boulder.
Yeah.
And he had a tactical fixed blade that I bought at Blade Show. And everybody thought it was silly that I bought a fixed blade knife when I could just make one. Well, first of all, I can't make what he made because it was CNC. I can't do all that. But man, I'm all about supporting other makers. And yeah, I like spending some of the money I made on my knives to buy other people's knives.
Yeah, exactly. And the cool thing about making knives is now you can trade with
Yeah.
other knife makers.
Trading's always nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Ooh, that was good. Okay, let's see. We're about 5 minutes from out of here. I have to wake up now that school is beginning. I do have to wake up in 5 hours, and man, I don't know. I kind of got used to summer hours because in the summer I can sleep in a little bit more, but now we're back to school, which kind of sorks a little bit. But something my daughter made me super proud when she came into the room and she saw this, and she wants this knife. She asked me if she could have it when I kick the bucket, and
I love that knife.
yeah,
I love the handles.
oh yeah, me too. I mean, this custom G10, but she's Squirrel Stew. I've had that growing up. It's a bit greasy like duck. I like it. Ooh, okay. Even more of a temptation. I love duck. But she saw this. My daughter is such a patriot. She's a patriot, and I absolutely love this. And she wants this because of that. I mean, she also likes Bowie knives, but that knife looks awesome, says Pens and Pen Blades. Yeah, it is awesome. And you know what? This is the FMF Frog, a collaboration with Frogman Tactical. The 4th of July decal. Yeah, this knife is so good and so great. Even like when I got it, I always admired it, but when I got it in hand, I was like, oh my God, this is an awesome knife. I need to get this knife in a plain Jane version because there's no way I'm using this for anything. And I pretty much don't use my knives for much anyway. But if this could be worn on the person, this could even be worn in the waistband if done properly in winter, I guess. But this one in particular, I'm not going to carry because it's too special. So I really love the Frogman. Is it the FMF? Yeah, FMF, I believe.
The sapper is my favorite thing Tim makes. I love that sapper.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
With that beautiful recurve. What about recurves? Do you have any appetite to make a recurve?
I do. I have to get a different platen to be able to pull that off. But I love a slot recurve in a big knife or in any knife. You know, they're not as hard to sharpen as I say. They're not hard to sharpen because my idea of sharpening is milling it to Kyle and getting it back razor sharp. I don't care.
It's just as easy as a Warncliffe.
Yeah, if you ever use one though, like especially like cutting rope or anything like that, the way it stays in the cut, you know, it doesn't slide out of it. They're just better.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Jim put up that we have an affiliate link. Definitely check it out. It's Knife Junkie at checkout when you go to TKel Knives. Or you go to theknifejunkie.com/TKel, takes you there. You get it's a coupon code for all three of us involved in this transaction. Tim gets the sale. I get a little kickback, and you get 10% off. So if you like TKel Knives, definitely buy them that way. Why not? You get 10% off. All right, we're about to get out of here. Any last words for the evening, Shane? Anything you want people to?
Just everybody that's in here already that has supported me through this, man, I appreciate you guys. And you know, if you really liked that clip point, I am going to be making more. So, but I'm a little behind right now. I got to get Mike at Northern Knives. I got to get his order done before I start on anything else. So, but yeah, hit me up if you're interested.
Okay. All right. Awesome. To address this, Mike, you and I should have a conversation offline. Virginia, radically different, I would imagine, than Alaska, but depends on where you go. It is an absolutely stunningly beautiful state. It's like emerald. Everywhere is green and lush. There's some areas that, you know, are like the area I'm in is a little, you probably don't want to move here. I mean, it's nice here, but knowing you're from Alaska and like your freedoms, you know, we're too close to DC for that. But interesting question, and we will definitely, let's talk offline about that. Yeah, Virginia, close to my heart. All righty, my man. Shane, thank you so much for coming on.
Hey,
Thank
thanks
you.
for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. And thank you and Terry for this giveaway knife. I can't wait to send it to Jeff Hamilton and see what he thinks about it. I'm sure he'll love it. But there you go. That does us for the evening. Thank you one and all for joining us. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you soon. I love you guys. So for Jim working his magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob DeMarco saying until next time, don't take dull for an answer.